Hey everyone, my name's Eddie. I'm a sophomore mechanical engineering major and treasurer of Stony Brook Seawolves for Israel. I'm going to be discussing this week's Parsha, Nitzav and Vayelech, which is actually a combination of two Parshas. This is done so that the Torah coincides with some important dates during the Hebrew calendar. In this week's Parsha, Moshe at this point is 120 years old and close to death. Earlier in the Torah, he was told that he wasn't going to end up leading the Israelis across the Jordan, and he's continuing his last speech to the people of Israel before his death. I'm going to mention some key points throughout the Parsha. Moshe reminds the Jews of the covenant that they made with God. He stresses how important it is to follow the Torah and the mitzvot, and to follow the path that the Torah lays out for each and every one of us in our daily lives. Moshe tells us that even if we as a nation go astray, God will lead us back on track and back to the Holy Land. Moshe stresses that following the Torah and the mitzvot isn't some super difficult task that only the holiest of us can do. That the Torah is something that we can all keep in our minds and our hearts to follow every day. Moshe also tells us that we have the choice between doing good and bad and between following the Torah and ignoring it. Something to note about the Parsha is the contrasting names of the two sections, Nitzavim and Vayelech. Nitzavim means standing still, and Vayelech means and he went. One super important point in this week's Parsha that we can draw a lesson from is the freedom of choice that Moshe and God gives us. This is something that we can see in our lives every day. We always have the choice of whether to put the shopping cart in the right spot in the parking lot, whether to help someone cross the street, or whether to give charity. Sometimes doing the right thing can be difficult because we would be 30 seconds late to work by helping someone, or we wouldn't be able to order that extra latte if we gave charity. Even though we have that choice, the name of the Parsha and the conflict in the meanings, Nitzavim Vayelech, serves as a strong reminder that we must stand firm in our beliefs, Nitzavim, so that we can easily choose the right path and help the Jewish nation and the world move forward on the path to righteousness and goodness. That's Vayelech. Thank you for your time and have a Shabbat Shalom.